You are now listening to the Friends of Rugby podcast. Relax your anus. Balls. Thick thighs. Camille Shat. Where's his neck? Eddie Jones. You're fucked, mate. We're nice now.
All right. Hello, friends. We are the Friends of Rugby podcast. Frank, how you doing? Frank?
Good.
Frank, how you doing? How was your holidays? Can you tell me what
You're not recording.
I'm recording right now. Wow, what's wrong? You got a mouthful of toast?
Yeah.
Start the podcast right when you finished.
What was the
With your
question?
peanut butter and jam toast?
Grape jelly.
Ugh.
People hate the noise of chewing. I don't know why you did that. You're gonna send,
No, isn't
you're
it
gonna
the
scare off our two
ASMR
listeners.
stuff?
Not chewing.
You're going to have a few guys jerking off to this when they hear that chewing.
For every guy who's jacking off, we're gonna lose 5 listeners. I'm alright. How are you?
We could change the whole podcast to an ASMR. Is that how I say it? Is it ASMR?
Yeah. ASMR.
Have you ever seen that stuff?
I quite like the ones with the fake haircut. You know, you go on YouTube, put your headphones on, and be like fake haircut ASMR. It's quite relaxing.
Oh, so you're an ASMR guy?
You're talking about the porn, though, aren't you? I'm talking about the relaxing noises.
No. I've never seen ASMR porn. I've seen like where people are like nails, like tapping stuff with nails,
Oh, I don't like that.
scratching carpet, or
No, I don't like random
stuff like that, or people telling stories and whispers, like the whisperer people. And I'm like, who the fuck is?
I'm not
listening to
like
this?
I'm not into that. I like ASMR. Like I like dipping my toes into the water.
Once upon a time.
Welcome to our show.
Yeah, like stuff like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I'm
yeah,
like,
I've
who
seen
the
it.
fuck? I'm like, who the fuck are these weirdos? That are like, oh yeah, I want to listen to this shit. And then there's you.
Somewhere in between.
Fake haircut, please.
Hello, George. Same as usual. Hello, Frank. Welcome to my house.
Snip, 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 snip. Like, I'm like, who the fuck are these weirdos? And then here you are,
Don't kink shame me.
right in front of me.
Yep. Hiding in plain sight. At least I'm not a furry.
It's the same shit.
No, it's not.
It's
How
in the
dare
same
you?
ball- it's
You
in the-
just insulted a lot of people.
ASMR and furries are in the same category.
You get the fuck out of my
It's
house.
the same weirdness.
Ugh, no, it's not. Not even close.
And I'm gonna put you together with the feet people.
Nope, not
The
accepting
feet,
that.
the buying the dirty underwear, ASMR, furries. You guys are all in the same category.
You've only ever done it missionary, haven't you, Steve?
All right, let's go on to
We're recording,
let's
aren't
go
we?
on to other things here.
all right, let's talk about rugby.
How was your holidays? We're back.
Good, actually.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I just did normal stuff. You know what I realized? You've got to have a child in the house for Christmas to feel magical. Got him.
Absolutely 100% not.
Okay. My sister-in-law had a baby, and it's fun to see kids experience Christmas because the magic had left me. I was just wake up, have my turkey, and have a nap after 6 beers kind of guy these days.
That's my favorite part about Christmas.
I like it, but it's less magical.
I don't need presents or gifts.
Not me. No.
Yes, the magic does leave.
It does leave, but it comes back, is what I'm saying, through the eyes of children.
I get presents for my dogs, and then they open them like children.
It's kind of the same.
So I get
Kind of the same as furries are the same as people who are into ASMR, though, you know. Not really.
But yeah,
How was your Christmas?
it was good. We had both the families over.
Yeah.
So like none of us, we like Michelle and I, we have like small families.
Yeah.
So none of the siblings have children.
Yeah.
So it's just us and some old people. So they come over around 2:00 and everyone was gone by 7.
Nice.
And it was perfect.
There's such a thing as hanging out with people too much. You know what I mean?
And you know what? It's like we only get together like once or twice a year too. It's like that's
And
too
after
much.
3 hours, you're like, I'm done.
Yeah, every Christmas I always say I want to go away for Christmas, like go on a vacation somewhere, maybe a resort, like a Mexico thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just I don't want to do family stuff. I just want to do me stuff.
You just want to relax.
Yeah, I just want to relax. So I think next year we'll definitely probably go on some sort of like beach vacation thing.
Nice.
That's my idea. Michelle would have probably other things to say about that, but she'd probably agree with me.
Yeah. I like the sound of that.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. But let's talk
checking my mic.
about rugby.
What a year.
Yeah.
What a year of rugby.
What a strange rugby in between Christmas is weird.
If you could sort of summarize it in a word or a feeling, the year in rugby, it's been a weird one for me. It's been a weird one.
It's been maybe a little less exciting. Because we're going to do like a recap of the year.
Yeah.
And we got some little awards because everyone's doing award stuff right now. So we're going to do like the team and stuff like that. I was kind of like, man, there's not when I was looking at players, I was like, who wasn't very much standout moments. Did it feel less exciting?
Well, I think every year after the World Cup has a tendency to feel like that because the games, just by the nature of the World Cup, they feel less important the year after. Having said that, what was different was the teams who needed to kick on after the World Cup, I think did a good job of maintaining dominance, like Ireland and South Africa. South Africa more so because they're the World Cup champions. They just kept it up, you know. Ireland had a bit of a wobble at the end, I think.
Yeah.
But they're both so dominant, and that's hard to do after a World Cup year.
Another surprising thing would be New Zealand did a lot better than I thought they were going to do.
They're not where they used to be, but they've definitely clawed back some of that magic, haven't they?
They did. They had a little bit of the letdowns of the year too, in my eyes. I think Argentina, like they had such a strong rugby championship.
Yeah.
And then they go up to the Northern Hemisphere.
And they're a flop.
That kind of
I wasn't surprised, and I'm not angry at them because of what they're working with. They're still the star children in my eyes. Like they can do no wrong.
Yeah, definitely. But they should have done better than I thought.
We want them to do better, don't we? Yeah.
Because they got creamed in some games.
They did.
And this is the team that beat the Springboks in 2024.
And the All Blacks.
Yes, and the All Blacks.
Yeah.
In New Zealand, like they accomplished a lot.
Yeah.
And then they kind of, what is it, with a bang, out with a whimper kind of thing?
Yeah. Totally. They just haven't got the depth to beat. It's crazy to think if they had the depth, they could be as good as South Africa because they can beat anyone on a day.
I guess Joe Schmidt's
Australia is a success story. That's a nice, because me and you were the worst for it, weren't we? We were like, Australia are done forever. Goodbye, Australia. We'll miss you. And they proved me wrong. And we need a good Australia. And all of a sudden, the Lions tour talk has changed, hasn't it? Because me and you were the same. We were like, this is a bad idea going to Australia right now. All of a sudden, it looks like a fun tour again.
Also, like in club level, the top 14 kind of looks the same.
Yeah.
As the year before.
Yeah.
The Prem has been a little bit less exciting.
Prem has been less competitive. Like last year, it was anyone can beat anyone. Now there's a bit more. Okay, these are the really good guys, and these guys suck.
Yeah, there's like a middle. It's kind of. Yeah, it's kind of been weird.
Been a strange year.
I guess the best thing to happen was Canada getting rid of Kingsley Jones.
If you're Canadian, it's that. Yeah,
that was a highlight.
If you're Welsh, there's literally no positives. So Cardiff are in third in the URC. We'll take that.
Are they now?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
as of
know.
2025. Yeah.
Oh, you're probably like, yeah.
Yeah, we're not going to be there forever. We've got about 6 away games against all the Irish and South African teams now.
You're fucked.
Yeah.
Oh, you're fucked.
It was fun while it lasted. Yeah.
It's like when the season first starts and you're just at default number one.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Alphabetical.
Yeah, fucking there.
Yeah. No, we've done well though. We've won more games this season already than we did entirely last year. So,
but this year is going to be a big year.
For who? Rugby.
For rugby. We got Six Nations around the corner.
Got Lions tour.
We got Lions tour. We got the Women's Rugby World Cup.
Yeah. Celtic Challenge.
Like we got a lot of things to look for. This year is going to be New Year, New Me Rugby.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Rugby is back at the gym on January 1st.
Yes, it is. Rugby is back at the gym.
Yeah. Rugby is doing a dry January.
So, I am super pumped about the Six Nations. I can't wait.
I'm not excited about it like I normally am for obvious reasons, but I do think I am excited about England, France, Ireland, and Scotland. Actually, everyone except Wales and Italy could beat each other now. So I am excited from that point of view. Like it does feel like a very level playing field.
There's gonna be some proving ground for these boys.
Yeah.
Lions tour positions are on the line.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, like there's like a lot at stake for a lot of these guys.
Yeah, there's already some guys who, regardless of injury or form in the next 3 months, I'm saying they're going, you know? So it will be interesting to see if there's guys who we thought maybe aren't going fight their way into a spot, right?
I'm going to be interested to see how Ireland's going to do.
In terms of the Lions tour?
Yeah, because without a Farrell-less
yeah,
Ireland.
That's a bit of a worry, isn't it? Because they finished the year a bit wobbly. Like people talking about their line out and people talking about their lack of composure.
Because it's like Simon Easterby.
Yeah. Ex-Scarlet.
Irish international.
Born in England, married a Welsh
His
woman.
Wife and children are native Welsh speakers.
Yeah, they're from Wales. Yeah. Because he was in Scarlets for a while. He was the head coach of the Scarlets for a little bit.
I looked him up not too long ago to one. I was like, who is this guy again?
International man of mystery, you know?
Yeah.
Except for Scotland.
Woo!
It's your babe.
Holy moly. I was like, oh, Jesus. I was like, he's a good-looking dude himself.
Yeah.
Tall, good-looking dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, then I saw his wife, I was like, gee.
It's the same with Tommy Bowe, good-looking man, went to Wales, stole one of our beautiful women, never returned.
Hey, his kids speak Welsh.
Yeah? Oh, no, I'm not angry about it. I'm only joking. Good for him.
Did you watch any rugby this weekend?
No, I didn't, to be honest.
I watched Bristol Saracens.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to see how Harry Byrne was going to do.
Yeah.
Did pretty well.
Yeah?
I thought he brought the offense. They were already really good. I thought they were the better team the whole game.
Yeah.
But fuck, man. They cough. Bristol coughs the ball up a ton.
Bristol are the team in everyone's hearts, but you know, you bet on Bristol with your heart and you bet on Saracens with your mind, wouldn't you?
They play high stakes rugby.
They do. They love throwing it around.
Yeah, they love throwing it around.
Yeah.
The Saracens, like that, they looked super good too.
Saracens can play like an international side when they want to.
It's how they look. It looks like that's how they look like when they're playing.
Yeah.
Their defensive pressure is crazy.
Their composure is insane, isn't it? Yeah. They're a very impressive team. And it's weird because they feel like they've lost enough key figures that you think they can't maintain that. But their structure, their scaffolding of that team is international standard,
The
isn't
people making selections that are filling up the spots,
yeah,
they're really good.
they are very, very good, yeah.
Yeah, so these guys are they're looking for talent.
Yeah.
Like their scouting is really good.
Yeah.
Like the top 14, like I feel like they just sign a name. Like if you got a name in, like I almost think sometimes they might sign you because of ticket sales.
Yeah.
Like they put that into account in the top 14. Like, oh, this guy will put butts in seats.
Yeah. Owen
like
Farrell will
he's a big
bring
name.
some.
Owen Farrell, throw a bank at him. He'll sell jerseys and put butts in seats.
Yeah.
Like that's sometimes I feel like that they do because you see a lot of big name signings.
Yeah.
Without any kind of thought into it, and then it doesn't work, and then it turns into this whole drama thing. Because Owen Farrell now is like getting a lot of heat in the media.
Yeah.
Like, oh, he didn't pan out.
Yeah.
Anything, Dan Bigger.
Yeah.
Sia Khaleesi.
Finn Russell was at Racing.
Yeah. I'm just talking about guys that went there, big names that went there, and then
kind of flopped.
Flopped or drama behind it.
Yeah. Lee Halfpenny had a bit of slack.
What's
He was there.
the all-black winger?
Oh,
Surveyor.
it's Julian Surveyor.
Yeah,
I mean, he's been there a
big
while. He was there for a long time. But yeah, he did kind of he did lose his form in France. You know, a lot of players go out there to retire, don't they? And it's sad because they paid them a lot of money. They're expected to win trophies, and all we hear in the media is this guy's shit. You know,
I feel
can't
like
think of
when
any.
All black is not when the all black part of a Kiwi's rugby career is not in the picture anymore.
Yeah,
it's just not their drive.
They lose their fire, don't they?
They lose that fire when that black when the black jersey's not on the line anymore.
Yeah,
it's almost like whatever. It's just rugby,
Yeah.
just a toss around.
Yeah. And it's also attritional in the top 14, isn't it? There's no consideration for you needing time to rest or anything.
Yeah,
if you're fit, you're playing.
Yeah, and the top 14, I think they got a little shocked by the workload.
Yeah.
Of the top 14.
Yeah. You're a full-time sports person.
Yeah.
Well, not that they're not anyway, but yeah, I was thinking that, like, you look at the successful teams in France in the last couple of years, it's like Toulouse, La Rochelle in the last sort of Bordeaux in the last sort of 3-4 years. None of them have those Northern Hemisphere signings, and I mean, sorry, when they none of those teams have got guys that have come from the Northern Hemisphere who've been their marquee players.
Yeah,
it's usually Racing or Toulon who've historically had them, and they didn't really get any success with it, did they? I'm thinking Racing especially. Racing have had so many Northern Hemisphere players join them, big marquee signings, and they've not really achieved anything.
You could tell too by the teams in the top 14 that, like the successful teams, you can tell the difference because they have away wins.
Yeah.
That's a big indicator.
Yeah.
Like if they're going away and winning games, it's like, whoa.
It's the hardest thing to do in France, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just like some kind of culture thing. They just don't give a fuck about.
Have you seen those home crowds in France?
Yeah.
Like, packed out stadium, flares, brass band, everyone's there shouting and screaming. It's like, look, it reminds me of like football games,
It's just such a weird cultural thing that like this, the whole like just not giving a fuck about away games.
I think they give a fuck. I just think the home crowd is like they're genuine fortresses.
Some teams literally don't.
Really?
Yes. You could tell some like Cast is a big one. They have never lost at home, and I think every single one of their away games is a loss.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And the teams are significantly different from when they play at home.
Yeah.
From when they play away.
I kind of I really like this, and I don't know why. Something about me feels like there's a showmanship to rugby that they've nailed. It's like we put on a show for our home fans, and we travel, we're hungover, and we don't care. I like it.
So I guess if you play for Cast.
Yeah.
And you're a star player, only playing like the home games.
Maybe, yeah.
It's like, we don't need you.
They can't afford your bus ticket to go to another town.
Do they pay you guys per game? Like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
But the rugby pay is weird all throughout the whole leagues. Like, you're so used to North America knowing how much everyone makes, and then you get to rugby and everything's a secret.
That is true, actually, because even in football, like Premier League football in the UK, it's very it's explicit how much this person has been signed for. You know what I mean? And in rugby, you can dig around and find out, but there's always some
gotta dig around.
You have to dig, and there's always some skullduggery going on. It's always like, and we gave him a beach house, and we gave him a yacht, and we put him in our investment portfolio. Like, what the fuck?
So they do that in the NFL also, but that's
of course they do.
But you could see
but
their
they've
contract.
been caught and fined for it in the Northern Hemisphere, haven't they?
But everything about their contract is out in the open. Like you could literally read an NFL player's contract word for word. If you want. I could bring up any NFL player's full player contract.
And the point is easily. Because I imagine you could find that in rugby eventually, but it would require some digging. Bearing in mind, rugby is not a fully fleshed out professional sport yet. It is a professional sport, but we talk often about how we're not there yet. We're not close to being as rich and widespread as something like NHL or Premier League football or NFL or whatever, We're not there yet. So maybe there's just people aren't looking for these things.
Yeah, because like people are using that kind of information in their fantasy leagues.
Yeah.
Like they use that information for a lot of other things.
Yeah. People, do you know what's crazy about North American sports as well is you guys are obsessed with statistics. Mm-hmm. I'll tune in, I'll be like, this is Jim's 13th game wearing this pair of boots for the second half. And it's like, who the fuck cares? But the statistics are, like, they're almost impressive how weirdly specific they are. And in rugby, if you said something like that, people are like, who gives a fuck?
I think because I don't know about in Europe and stuff, but in America, the huge gambling culture.
Yeah.
Because you can gamble on anything.
Yeah.
You can gamble on the time it takes the person to sing the American national anthem at the Super Bowl. And there's like an over and under for minutes and stuff.
Yeah.
So
that's the same in the UK. You can walk into a betting shop and say, I believe the Prime Minister will be wearing a red tie on Tuesday. Mm-hmm. But because the nature of the game is 2 halves of whatever minutes, the statistics are less important because it's anything could happen in that time. Whereas in something like American football, everything is so measurable.
Yeah,
it's tiny and measurable, isn't it?
I think it has to be with the NFL.
Yeah. Because
there's such a lack of actual sport being played.
That
everything around, they have to build a huge product around it because there's a lack of actual sport.
Yeah.
Like there's only 11 minutes, an average of 11 minutes of actual football at play.
Yeah.
In every single game. So you need all that extra stuff. Otherwise, it's just you're watching a commercial fest.
Yeah.
So
should we talk about rugby?
Yeah, we should talk about rugby.
Do you want to do team of the year?
Let's talk about Louis Rees-Zammit.
Ah,
No, I'm just kidding. I
got
really
him.
don't want to talk about it.
No, me too. Okay.
Do you know? But sorry.
Okay.
I just wanted to mention Harry Byrne again.
Yeah, please do.
Okay, so Harry Byrne got he came off the bench for Bristol.
Yeah.
You know how much time he's played
In
in Leinster this year?
I'm gonna say
51 minutes.
wow, that's way less than I was gonna guess.
51 minutes of play time.
Less than a full game.
Yeah. He's probably going to end up being, the way he played, I could see him being actually the new starter for Bristol.
Yeah.
Because he's really good.
He is good.
But man, that guy was wasting away, and I just couldn't imagine. I can't even think about the amount of talent that Leinster just has literally sitting on a fucking bench.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
Insane. Like, you had this like fucking like international fly half. He's played for Ireland, and he's just fucking 51 minutes sitting on the bench.
And the crazy thing is, there's 3 guys still at Leinster right now who are further ahead in the pecking order in terms of the Ireland 10 jersey. Frawley, Sam Prendergast, and his brother.
Another fucking crazy thing about it is now he's in the fucking Premiership.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, why did the URC lose this guy?
Well, like you just said, why? Because he's not playing rugby.
Yeah, but what the fuck? Yeah, and that's a bad thing. Like, why is he in a different league? Why is he being he's going to be a star. He's going to be good.
Yeah.
He's going to get playing time. But now, you got people paying attention to him in a different league. Like, that's just bad for the URC.
I'll tell you exactly why. Because every other Irish province has an established 10 who's playing the full game. He wants to play more games, right? He wants to be the starting 10 somewhere. And he deserves to be because of his quality.
You're telling me Ulster doesn't need a 10?
Yes. I'm telling you that they don't need a 10 who's starting. Or they believe they don't. I also believe that he doesn't want to play for a Welsh or Scottish team. The Scottish teams have starting fly-halves. The Welsh teams can't afford him. And South Africa, you've got to go across the planet.
There should have been something that made him stay, especially in Ireland.
There's not the money or the space for him in the USC, is what I'm saying. Whereas I think the Saracens guy called him up and said, I'll let you play 75% of the games as a starter. We know you're that good.
I agree with you. I agree with you on those points.
Yeah.
But I still think that there should have been something done. Like, should we have this player like elevating another league, a competitive league, our competitors? Like, why would you go to a different brand? Like, it's just such a loss.
I think it's a test. I think it's a good thing in a way because it shows the Irish system is producing so many good players. I told you a few weeks ago, it's going to start boiling over the sides. Yeah, and Irish talent going around the world isn't a bad thing because they historically haven't done it.
And the Irish know that too. They talk about that, the boil over talent.
Yeah.
They talk about that quite a bit.
Yeah.
So if you listen to like an Irish podcast or any kind of Irish rugby pundit, that term, like the boil over talent, comes up quite a bit.
Oh, yeah.
They're worried
I'm
about
surprised.
it.
Why are they worried about it?
Because they're producing a lot of talent, and they're worried about losing him because of how it's set up. Like, Leinster just like gobbles them all up.
Yeah.
And then you have a bunch of talent sitting there not doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing happening to spread that talent up.
Sounds like jealous provinces to me. I mean, look, Munster's a good example, right? Unless Jack Crowley's injured, he's starting. And even at Munster, that same thing has already happened. Ben Healy went to Edinburgh to play for Scotland.
Because at the time, they had Ben Healy, Jack Crowley, and, oh my God, I forgot his name.
The South African guy? No, this was a while ago. I was thinking of Black
he's playing it for Montpellier. Oh, fuck, he went to top 14.
Joey Carberry.
Joey Carberry.
Yeah.
Fuck, I completely forgot. Yeah, so at that time, they had those 3 guys.
Right. 3 international 10s.
3, now international. Yeah, and 3 really good 10s.
Yeah.
So it was stuffed up there. Like, there wasn't enough room for all 3 of them.
Yeah.
So Healy left, Carberry left. Then they were like, oh, fuck, Monster's like, fuck. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Now we got no one.
Yeah, but they don't have no one, do they? You know?
No, I think, what's his name? Is it Freddie Burns?
Yeah.
Is that? Or is it?
Well,
there's 2 of them.
So what I was going to say, though, is if you compare yourself to Leinster, you're always going to feel like you don't have depth because they've got ridiculous depth. They've got the depth to the point where everyone else is like, that's a bit too much. You've got too much money and too much depth. You've got guys of Burns' quality just warming a bench. Whereas somewhere like Munster, where they do have a very good starting 10 and then a couple of good understudies, that's normal.
Also, they want to keep their top talent in Ireland. Leinster has the majority of it. The other guys that are really super good too in Ireland what's happening there too is that these guys are really good, not getting on the Ireland squad,
Yeah.
and they're starting to look over at the Prem and top 14.
I don't think that's a bad thing.
I agree with you. I personally don't think it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
But the fans, the system, they want these good players in that system.
I'm going to tell you something now which you haven't heard before. 5th Irish province. Why the fuck not? Why not have a 5th? Because historically there are 5 provinces of Ireland. There's the there's the province of Meath. You heard about that?
I would say get a 5th Irish province.
Yeah.
If Munster, Connacht, and Ulster were just like too good.
They're not.
They're not.
They could be.
And they have the room and space for some players right now.
Yeah.
That Leinster has.
Yeah.
Leinster has gobbled up. They do. So if they were like dominant, like if just all the Irish teams were just like overly dominant.
Here's the thing though, not everyone can be good all the time.
And then
it's not possible.
And there was like a real risk of like that talent boil over. A 5th team would make sense.
Let's do a 5th team. That's I'm the cutting edge of
I
rugby
think Wales
gossip.
should get a 5th team.
We haven't got enough money to sustain 3. Have you seen the Dragons? Jesus. Yeah.
Should we do our
How did you do that? How did you get me talking about Irish 10s for 10 minutes? How the fuck did you do that?
Every time I'll get you talking about Irish 10s.
Oh, fuck.
It's your favorite thing to talk about.
Oh, well, you sucked me in, didn't you? Bastard.
You want to do our rugby awards?
Team of the Year.
Team
2024.
of the year. Let's do our team of the year because everyone loves these teams of the year things.
I do have a question before we start.
Yeah.
What is a loose head prop?
Shut up.
What is the difference?
Will this year be Frank putting a loose head in a loose head position?
Yeah, it will because I Googled it. Yeah.
Who do you have for number 1?
Oxenche.
Yeah, I did too.
Of course you fucking did.
Yeah, everyone's going to have that.
Of course you did.
He was the loose head of the year.
Yeah.
I could have put Andrew Porter in there too.
Yeah.
Probably some people would argue with me, but
And I don't think many people. Not that Andrew Porter's had a bad year, but
no.
Oxenche, I agree with that sentiment that he was overlooked
For the player of the
for
year?
the player of the year.
Oh, 100%.
Not strongly, but enough that it's kind of glaring that a prop has never won that, considering the work they get through.
Yeah, the workload and
the immense strength you need to be in that position.
100%.
Yeah.
So I would put. Yeah, for me that was an easy pick this year. How about hooker? This year has been kind of.
This was hard actually.
The hooker was hard.
Yeah, no, generally it was hard across the board. I put Cody Taylor actually.
Cody Taylor.
I'll tell you a couple of things. Right, first, had Dan Sheehan played more rugby, he didn't play a lot at all this year.
No, because he was injured.
Right, he broke his leg, so it's significant. I've never seen him have a bad game, so he was in my mind, but he just hasn't played nearly enough rugby. I thought Dewi Lake actually, as Welsh captain, had a hell of a year, but he just hasn't been in enough winning game. He's been the difference for us a lot, but
I was surprised you didn't pick Dewi Lake.
I haven't picked a single Welsh guy, and why would I? Why would I? You know. And I'm a big guy who will argue for a good player in a bad team, and we have had good players in bad teams, and I think Dewi Lake is definitely one of those. But Cody Taylor was, for me, part of that backbone of the All Blacks. I don't want to call it a resurgence because it's not like they lost a lot, but he feels like a senior leading player who gets the job done for them and consistently gets them across the line.
Cody Taylor would make any international team.
Yeah, it's not hard. I sound like I'm pleading a case in court. Like, it's not an easy, it's not a hard decision, actually. He's a hell of a guy. Who'd you pick?
Malvaca from France.
Yeah.
He's dynamite. He's dynamite in every fucking game.
I'm going to write that down, actually.
Malvaca.
Remind myself he exists. One of the things one of my big caveats is I don't know enough about French rugby. I don't follow it closely enough. I feel like there's a lot of French guys who could have made this team if I knew more.
Yeah, we're going to have a bias for the Prem and
URC particularly,
and internationals because that's our 3 main focus.
I feel like
that's going to be when we're doing our team, because there's going to be people like, well, what about this fucking player in fucking Japan League One or Super Rugby or Top 14?
But our glaring omission will be France because even the Rugby Championship, we watch enough of it, right? Yeah, and we watch enough Super Rugby.
But Malvaca, every time he plays, he is class. He's dynamite.
Yeah, totally.
I love him.
Yeah.
Who did you pick for number 3?
You tell me first.
Tight head.
Tell me yours first, please.
I picked Asher Opoku Fajor.
I wrote Uini Antonio.
because you couldn't think of a tight head.
No,
prop?
I could think of tight head props. I just honestly, this one is two honest admissions. I don't know enough about the position, and I don't know enough about French rugby. But when I've seen this guy play, he's just fucking massive and a monster, right?
He's for La Rochelle, right?
Yeah. And La Rochelle haven't even been as good as they were a couple of years ago. And I think someone like Tyg Furlong just looks knackered.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's guys in Scotland who look really good as well.
Is Xander Ferguson tight head?
Ferguson, yeah. And he is actually really good. I was so tempted to write his name down. But like I said, this is not my area of expertise. So tell me about your guy.
I picked Asher Fajor because he is going to be the new star prop of England.
Yeah, okay. Strong words.
Big guy, strong guy, works his ass off every game. You'll see it. I guarantee it. And I'm just hopefully Borthwick sees him. But in my eyes, I think he's the future. And there's a lot of people that would agree with me.
Yeah.
A lot of people.
Yeah.
Just a second. We're back from a rocky
dog incident. Just doesn't like being alone.
You sit there, you motherfucker.
Poor
You might as well just
boy.
give him a fucking mic.
Yeah, but he doesn't have any.
Just lick it the whole time.
He knows
That'll be
less
the
about
ASMR
props
part.
than I do.
That'll be the ASMR part. He's licking the fucking mic.
Licking his dog
sniffing it.
chops. That's a pretty good dog impression.
Yeah. So that's what he'll be doing. He'll be all into that kind of shit.
Yeah. Tight head prop. Go.
Yeah, Asher. I already said what I had to say about him.
Fair enough.
Yep. Every time I see him play.
Yeah.
Every time I watch, if I watch a Sale game, I see him. It's I do that. Ooh.
Yeah.
Actually, I picked a lot of players this year that when I watch them play, they make me go, ooh, oh, man.
Yeah.
What a guy.
You didn't pick Finley Beelum?
No, I didn't pick Finley Beelum.
Well, you obviously didn't pick Finley Beelum, otherwise you'd have picked Finley Beelum.
Yeah, I could have picked him because he had to step into some big shoes because of the injury, like Tyg Furlong's injuries.
Those shoes look a bit big on his feet every now and again, though.
Yeah.
He's good.
He didn't step up in the way I wanted him to step up.
Yeah.
I thought that was a big part for him, but no.
That's fair.
Asher gets it. Asher, England boy. Let's go with your locks. Who's your two locks?
I went for... Okay, so I omitted Eben Etzebeth despite him being fucking superlative, and I'm going to tell you why, because I went for RG Snyman and Tyg Byrne, more because I would just love to see those two guys play together.
Yes.
That would be incredible.
They should have played together more when they were at Munster. But RG fucking played like 2 or 3
The universe
games.
was telling us something. It can't have that much awesome in the boiler room. RG Snyman, because
this was the year of RG Snyman.
It was,
RG Snyman was the star of rugby in my eyes. Like he's just everything. When he was at the box, he was amazing. He's been incredible for Leinster.
Yes, he has. He's done. Yeah, that's exactly right. Like he's finally fulfilling his potential. And I think in the years before, people were talking about it as if like just you wait until he hits his stride. And he was already very good. And now he's finally hit stride. They were right. Like the things he does at Leinster, like some of those clips, those reels of him just doing insanely athletic things in the line out, one-handing the ball, throwing it like it's fucking frisbee. It's incredible.
His ball playing, he's an operator.
He is.
The thing about what makes him different from Etzebeth is like a powerhouse.
Yeah. And a leader as well.
Snyman has that powerhouse about him, and he's an operator with the ball. You
know, because 5 years ago, Snyman kind of looked like a baby giraffe on the field. Like he was massive, but he kind of folded in contact a little bit sometimes. Now he looks like
since he came from the fire, from being set on fire, he came out of the fire.
The fateful Bry.
Yeah, now he's like a new man has been reborn from the fire.
Yeah, he's got a revenge story arc now.
I've been through the flames. Literally, I've been set on fire. So he's like,
hardened by Irish barbecues. And Tyg Byrne didn't have the best game towards the end of the season for Ireland, and that almost made me go, that's why I'm picking him, because if he isn't the best guy on the team, it's surprising.
I think I said before, he's
everything.
The biggest loss. He'll be the biggest loss when he leaves.
Yeah.
When he stops playing.
Yeah.
And he starts losing form. And I think that last year he didn't have the best year.
Yeah.
So I didn't pick him. So
I wanted to say about him, you know, and I was comparing him to Justin Tipperick, which isn't exactly fair, but and Quagga Smith is another comparison. Just guys who if they're on the team, they're not doing the post-match interview. They're not the most charismatic guys, but if you look at the win and loss ratio when they're in and out of the team, it's significant. I remember when Justin Tipuric didn't play for Wales, we lost way more. And when he played, we won way more. It's the same with Tyke Byrne. Tyke Byrne, they'll be under the thumb. He'll just rip the ball off out of the guy's hands. You know, he'll just turn the game around on his own. Same with Quagga Smith. He'll just come on, change the fucking game. These are like the unsung heroes who deserve to be talked about in the same way we talk about Antoine Dupont, you know? Incredible player.
My other second row pick.
Yeah.
In my eyes, the hardest working man in the URC.
Okay.
The hardest working he's the hardest worker.
Can I guess?
Yeah.
Can I guess?
Guess.
It's a lock.
Yes.
No, I can't. I can't. I literally can't think of any locks.
Tedson Williams. Old Teddy Williams.
Teddy Williams. Okay.
The guy is a workhorse.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have to sell me now.
Well, first of all, he's got the most tackles in the URC.
Okay.
By a long shot.
Yeah.
The guy is a machine.
You caught me totally off guard.
I did, didn't I?
You did, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I know because you were telling me about 2 weeks ago. It's surprising how many Welsh players top the charts in URC statistics, and I was telling you we produce good players, right? Yeah, that's surprising.
Do you have to look up who Teddy Williams is?
No, of course not. No, of course I didn't have to. I was looking at the stats.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
The guy he's a workhorse. He's just I would say he's the hardest working player in the URC.
He gives off Dav Jenkins vibes, right? Like he's just everywhere.
And I think after every Cardiff game, he has the most tackles on the team.
Yeah, he does.
After every single game. The guy just puts his heart on the line every single game.
I guess I'm a bit aghast because I'm like, are you fucking with me?
No.
Okay. In the world.
In the world, I I don't say he's like the best lock in the world
because that's what we're talking about.
But for this year, I would put Teddy Williams.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think if Teddy Williams was,
are you mocking me?
If he was in like if he was Irish,
yeah.
if he was English,
yeah.
if he was Scottish,
yeah.
he could be picked.
Yeah, it's been a sad year for Welsh guys who, because Wales aren't in the conversation this year, we're not used to that. We're used to being at least people begrudgingly going, they're annoying fuckers, but we respect them. Now people have forgotten about us. And so you've got guys like Teddy Williams. You've got a lot of Welsh players in the English Prem who are playing out of their skin. People just don't talk about them because we're not relevant right now. So it's good that we're getting accolades, but it's hard to put him in a world class category.
I just think that he's unfortunate to be playing for Cardiff.
Third in the league, how fucking dare you?
And you know he's Welsh right now, and they're not doing.
He's Welsh right now,
so
like he could change his allegiance, which who the fuck knows.
So like if he was, I guarantee, if he was playing anywhere, if he was any other nationality, he would be looked at. He'd be
talked about more.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
And
there's a few guys like that. Yeah, yeah.
I think a lot of coaches would love Teddy Williams.
I like him.
Yeah,
I'm a Cardiff fan.
I picked some fucking.
Yeah, that's a curveball.
This is the working man's. I picked the working man's.
Oh, well, you should have told me you were picking the working. I picked the best bloody players in the world.
Yeah.
All right. You know, I'm happy you picked the Welsh guy.
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that and not be suspicious.
Your flankers. Who's your flankers?
All three? Oh, all two, I should say.
Yeah,
I went.
two flankers,
I think Valentini deserves a mention. Just because Bobby V. Because it's fun to say his name and watch an Australia game where people aren't just telling you how fucking amazing he is all the time. And he is good. He is class. So he's in the team. And Josh van der Fleer at 7.
Josh is an auto include this year.
Yeah, has to be, doesn't he?
He's just, I don't think he's had a bad game anywhere all 2024.
No. And I did something which I didn't think I was going to do for number 8, which is I didn't pick Ardi Sarvea.
No, I didn't either this year.
I picked Caelan Doris.
I picked Caelan Doris too.
And
I picked Josh van der Fleer.
Yeah, me too. So I went Valentini, Van der Fleer, and Caelan Doris. Those two. Caelan Doris is superlative, right? Like he's a leader. He's not injured very often, which is good for him. And he just always has a good game. And Ardi Sarvea is like incredible. Like he's like Tyke Byrne, he's a game changer, but I just think the way Caelan Doris has been a leader as well as being all those other things this year.
It's been a quiet, in my eyes, in my opinion, it's been a quiet Sarvea year for 2024 for him.
It has. Yeah. Quieter, right? Quieter.
Yeah. It was just not the game changer that, the wrecking ball.
Yeah.
That he was the year previous.
Yeah, and he's still excellent. I got an honourable mention for Aaron Wainwright as well, and actually Ben Earl. I thought Ben Earl had a good year.
Oh, yes, I forgot about Ben Earl.
Yeah, he had help. So Aaron Wainwright and Ben Earl, very, very good, very close. But these guys were just,
Gregory
X
Aldred.
factor. Yeah, Aldred, and poor French guys, man. I always forget about them. They've got some class back rows. Who'd you pick?
I picked Kalen Doris, Josh Van de Flair,
Yeah.
and another outside pick. I picked Tom Gordon.
Tom Gordon.
You don't even know who this guy is. No one's knows it. From the Newcastle Falcons.
I didn't know who that was.
Yeah.
I didn't know who that was. Tell me about him.
He is another super ultra workhorse. He has the most tackles than anyone in the Northern Hemisphere.
Did you just look up who's tackled the most and make a list based on it?
No, I was going through some stats.
All right.
But Tom Gordon is a guy.
He's definitely a guy.
He's not old.
No.
Yeah, I think he came from Edinburgh. He's a Scottish international.
Right. Yeah. I think I knew that.
But a complete fucking workhorse. Jesus. Like the only reason why Newcastle can stay in games is because he's there, smashing people the whole time.
Okay. They don't stay in games. They
if
lose.
They even, I know they lose all their games, but he's incredible.
Okay.
I'm naming some guys that are going to be names.
Okay. I think you misunderstood the brief, but we're going to keep going.
Well, that's the mission. Yeah.
Teddy Williams and Tom Gordon, if I saw them on an international team sheet, I'd be like, the fuck, are the other guys sick? Good players. All right.
And they're both young.
Yeah. Well, Teddy Williams is 22 or something. Yeah, he's very young, yeah. So any Welsh player you could name has barely left their teens because everyone else retired. I think Tom Gordon's been around a while, though. Who's playing for
25
Edinburgh or something?
He's been in the Scotland team. He's great.
Yeah.
He's a good player.
Yeah.
Fearless.
Yeah. And I think he's living in the shadow of people like Richie Gray and Amish Watson, who've been the go-tos.
I love watching the shittier teams in the league play each other, or because that's when they win, or if they do win, it's really exciting stuff.
Yeah. You do have a bit of thing for underdogs,
when you watch a Newcastle game,
yeah,
you'll notice Tom Gordon on the field.
Yeah,
if he's playing on the field, you'll notice him, and the commentators will constantly be saying his name.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, underdog there.
All right, I believe you. I believe you. Let's go to the backs.
The backs.
As a back, this is where I should know a bit more.
Who's your fly half?
My fly half.
I mean, no, sorry, your scrum half.
Okay, this was actually close.
This was easy for me.
Yeah, I went for Jameson, Gibson, Parkinson, because there was a time, particularly in the Champions Cup, Leinster's Champions Cup run and the Six Nations, where this guy just changed games. And actually, both games against South Africa, he was the difference for me for an Irish team. He since Sexton left, he has been the guy who dictates the pace, the structure of the Irish game at both Leinster and Ireland. And that's a big responsibility. Antoine Dupont only came back relatively recently, although he's still fucking incredible. Thomas Williams, another Welsh guy who gets an honourable mention, has been class for Gloucester. I think that's all I got to say. England have kind of chopped and changed a bit too much. Like I said, Dupont hasn't been playing enough in the year. But yeah, what do you think?
George Horn.
For Glasgow. Yeah, that's actually a good call.
That's who I called.
Yeah, that's actually a good call.
He's been on fire.
Yeah, he's been on fire. A lot of those Glasgow guys should be on this list.
I can see George Horn going to the Lions tour.
Yes. I think actually Jameson, Gibson Park, George Horn and Thomas Williams will be the nines. I don't actually think an English nine will go. And that's a strange thing to say.
Harry Randall, in my eyes, not too bad.
Not too bad. Alex Mitchell, when he's got some runs of games together again, would be good. I just like
George Horn's got that. He's got killer instinct.
Yeah, he's a good sniper, isn't he?
Yeah, Gibson Park has that same mentality.
He's getting older, though, isn't he?
Yeah. But George Horn, in my eyes, was the 9 of the year for me.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Who's your number 10? Fly half.
I actually went for Marcus Smith here because I think this was the year he checked a lot of boxes, which he needed to be talked about in terms of very, very good fly halves. Because before, he was flashy, break the line, take the ball close to the line, but his defense was a bit suspect and he made the wrong decisions sometimes. This year, I thought his defense improved massively and his game management looked better. So now he's like the complete package and he's exciting. Those are my points.
Who do you think I picked?
I think you picked Duncan Weir. Did you?
No, I fucking love Duncan.
Based on your fucking performance.
No, I would have picked. He's not good looking enough to be a 10.
No, yeah, you told me that.
You have to. If you're not good looking, I'm automatically not even picking you.
That's
You're the
fair.
best 10 in the world.
Okay.
You're not making my team.
Okay.
If you're gonna be a 10, you got to be a good looking guy.
Yeah. No, you picked Sam Prendergast.
No, I didn't pick
Oh,
Sam
what?
Prendergast,
After all
no.
that fucking
I
bluster?
wanted to. I thought about it.
Yeah,
and I
because
was
he's
like,
only played 3 fucking games or something.
I was like, I was like, who is it gonna be?
Who's gonna
I
piss
picked
for-
Marcus Smith too.
You did, eh?
Yeah, he's
Oh,
just
okay.
been like he was easily the most important player on the England setup.
Yeah, yeah.
He plays his ass off every game.
Yeah.
He's the complete 10 package.
He is, isn't he?
Yeah.
Finally, as well. Yeah, he's come into his own.
Arguably like the best fly half in the world.
Yeah.
He creates, like, imagine having him and DuPont
Oh,
playing together.
that would be cool.
Like he creates things. I love how he creates shit. He just takes the ball and he's like, I'm gonna do this on my own.
He does. He
And I
does.
love
And it works.
fucking love that. Like he
Yeah.
puts his body on the line.
Yeah,
Don't get me wrong, I think Sam Prendergast will get there,
yeah.
but Marcus Smith's already there.
I'm upset you're not talking about Jack Crowley, honestly.
No,
Like,
Jack Crowley is like the problem with Jack Crowley is he's a really good 10, but he's kind of like an Andre Pollard to me.
really?
He's there. He's like a 10.
Since Sam
gonna
Prendergast
do
came
my
around,
10 things.
it's like
I'm gonna-
Jack Crowley doesn't exist to you people anymore. I feel bad for the guy.
You just don't like Sam Prendergast because he's a Leinster boy.
I like Sam
If
Prendergast.
he was English,
I don't like Leinster.
if he was English, you'd be like, oh Sam.
I would be saying exactly
I
the same thing.
love
He's
Sam
played
Prendergast.
approximately 20
no,
minutes
no,
of
no,
rugby.
No. It's all because he's
You are
Irish and he's a Leinster
neglecting
guy.
Johnny Sexton's true successor.
It's gonna be
There's
Sam
going to be a civil
Prendergast.
war in Ireland over this.
I love Jack Crowley. If I see an Irish team and they put Jack Crowley ahead of Sam Prendergast, I'm not saying anything.
Oh, yes, you are.
I'm not gonna be like,
Don't
oh my
you
god,
lie.
they're wasting such potential.
Don't you lie.
No.
It's exactly what you'd
Like
say.
if they play, who's their first game in the Six Nations? I don't know. I think
I
it's.
dunno.
Is it England?
Could be. Could
Let's
be.
just say it is,
One
or
of
it's France, their
5
first
teams.
game,
Yeah.
and they put I'd put Jack Crowley in.
And they will.
Yes,
Then they will.
I think they should.
They'd be
If
stupid
they
not
put
to.
Sam Prendergast in there
Mm.
to start, I won't be like, oh my god. I'd be like, pooh, it's taking a risk though.
Yeah.
But that's what I'd go with. But yeah, that's my 10. Marcus
Yeah,
Smith.
fair enough.
Number 12.
I just want to mention on the 10, while we're on the 10 thing, South Africa are getting omitted a bit here, unfairly. They just didn't have the same guy in the shirt for long enough.
Yeah.
I think it's cool all these guys are unearthing,
And
actually.
Gomez Zulu.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
even Pollard had a hell of a year.
Yeah.
You know?
I think
Manny
Gomez
Lubbock-
Zulu was I was going to pick him.
Yeah. No, it's just it's not enough games.
Injured, not enough games.
Yeah, not enough games. Simple as that. But he's incredible.
Yeah, he next year. I bet you anything in 2025 we do this again.
Yeah.
He'll be the guy.
Yeah. And another honourable mention for Entomac, when he came back, I thought, fucking hell, this guy hasn't missed a beat. He's class, you know? But not enough rugby. So Marcus Smith gets it because he's consistent and very good.
Even Damian McKenzie you can be put in that conversation.
Yeah, that was the whole New Zealand thing was a bit of a weird one because Mackenzie doesn't feel like we talked about this. He's a fullback. He needs freedom and space to express himself.
Mm-hmm.
He's a painter,
Yes,
you know. He's a
he's
musician.
a fucking painter. I love that.
He is though.
I love that.
He's not.
He's a painter.
He is. He needs freedom. You know.
He does.
And in New Zealand, I think that's actually one of their weaknesses right now.
Mhm.
They don't have someone like a Sexton or a Dan Carter, you know, a general at 10. They need it.
Let's go to our centers. Number 12.
This was easy.
Who did you have?
Sione Tui Pilotu.
That's who I put
Of
too.
course you fucking did.
Easy.
Of course you fucking
He's been
did.
the main character of the URC this year.
He's been the main character of rugby this year.
He has.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he didn't get. He wasn't even named Player of the Year.
Yeah. Yeah. I think he hasn't been doing it for long enough, but when he's been doing it, holy shit. This
Yeah.
guy does not put a foot wrong. Captaining Scotland with a Scottish granny in the crowd. One of my top moments of rugby this year.
How about number 13?
I went for Kyle Stain because Glasgow need a mention.
Ooh.
You know, he's been class. It was close. I was actually going to put. I was thinking Jesse Creel had a decent year. Hugh Jones had a good year.
Mhm.
And so did Jamie Osborne's kind of a exciting prospect. Yeah, there's a lot of guys, but yeah, Kyle Stain, just because like him, what he's done at Glasgow, very cool. How about you?
I picked hands down probably the ugliest rugby player in rugby.
Okay.
Yeah. I picked
I don't want to say anything.
Bernard Janse van Rensburg.
What a name.
Do you know who he is?
No.
He plays for Bristol.
Yeah.
He's been like the guy for Bristol.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a South African dude.
Yeah.
He is awesome. And surprisingly not a Springbok in my eyes.
Not yet.
Not yet.
No, they don't need to do that now, do they?
No, I think they have.
They have got depth
a
coming
lot,
out their ass.
Yeah, when it comes to centers, but he is.
Oh no, yeah, sorry,
Yeah. He sounds
sorry.
like a count.
Yeah.
He's got like 4.
Yeah.
Bernard Janse van Rensburg coming in here. Yeah, and he's got the ugliest. He's the ugliest dude in rugby. If you ever see him, but he kind of looks. He kind of looks frumpy.
He's the
but
guy
he's a
with
super athletic dude, and he'll do everything.
Yeah.
He does. When he gets the ball in his hands, he does everything. Except for the last game, he fucking had a bad knock on at the end that kind of killed the game.
Fair pick.
Yeah,
Great. Sorry, go ahead.
The guy's a star.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he young?
I think there's actually rumors that
He's the guy with the shitty haircut, isn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's got an awful fucking mullet.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think there's rumors that he might be English qualified.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure about that, but I'm pretty sure I heard that somewhere that he's actually like a few steps away from being English qualified. So I'm pretty sure England's gonna snap him up.
As I'm Googling him, first headline, it would be amazing to play for England. They need centers though.
They do.
They need centers.
If he's when he becomes eligible, I don't know if it's a time thing or I don't know what's holding that back. But as soon as he's eligible, he's on that team.
Fair enough.
He's an auto include.
Yeah.
And he's great.
I don't think he's ugly.
Wingers.
Just shitty haircut. Kurtley
Jacob
Andresa.
Stockton. Oh yeah.
I went for Will Jordan at fullback. I don't know if we'll just do back three.
Okay.
So I went Kurtley Andresa, Will Jordan, who I know is not your favorite, and I'm going to go Darcy Graham.
Oh no.
Because when he played against Fiji, when he came back, fucking hell, he was good. And he's only little. He just dances around people.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Kurtley Andresa, Darcy Graham, Will Jordan.
Ooh.
Which unknown Newcastle Falcons player did you pick?
I didn't. I picked.
You picked Radwan, didn't you? Adam Radwan of Newcastle Falcons.
I picked James Lowe.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think 2024 he was like the best winger in the world in my eyes.
Okay.
Every game like he's played, he gets man of the match, or he's just saving. Like he's such a utility winger.
He is.
And
he's everywhere.
I just love that. I love how he's just not just a winger. He's everything on the field.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
in 2024,
Yeah.
he really displayed that.
Yeah.
He was better this year than he was in 2023 in my eyes.
I don't agree, but what I do agree with, or what I'm going to say in his defense is, he kind of has reinvented the winger position a bit in the last couple of years.
He has. He's kind of, and I think that's to contribute. I think, Farrell. What's his first name? Oh my God.
James?
No, the coach of Ireland.
Andy
Farrell. Fuck,
Yeah.
I'm having a stroke.
Yeah.
I think that has to do with him. I think Andy Farrell has a certain, what's the word I'm looking for when he has a certain expectation he wants from his wingers.
Yeah.
And I think he brought, I could be completely wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure, I believe that he brought that out of James Lowe. You want to be on this team? This is what I want from you.
Yeah. So a few years ago, All Blacks reinvented the forwards, right? Mm-hmm. They made the prop wing a thing. Mm-hmm. You know, they made sure their props were athletic and fast and would pop up everywhere. What Ireland have done, and I'm agreeing with you wholeheartedly here, I'm kind of elaborating on what you're saying, right? They've kind of reinvented a lot of backs positions to be, you know, you will fit into different plays and different positions across the field because they're.
What do you mean I have to ruck?
Yeah, but their attack patterns are so complicated and they have so many decoy runners and hidden attackers that it means that a winger or a center has to be all over the field. And someone like James Lowe is like the archetype of a guy who has reinvented the back and the winger position. And Ireland have done a really good job.
Agree.
You know, because the best teams in the world are innovators. What Ireland did innovatively is use their backs in like that. James Lowe was that guy.
They brought them into the game more.
They did.
Right? Because usually the winger was the guy waiting around.
Yeah.
When you played rugby, if you played rugby and you were a winger, especially in like grassroots beer league rugby, if you're a winger, you spend a lot of time waiting around. And
then you get one chance, you sprint and you score, right? So in a world of Duhans and Will Jordans and Louis Rees-Sammet's speed, one job, James Lowe is like the antithesis.
And if you look at the best wingers in the world, and especially look at South Africa, both all their wingers,
Colby, Andresse, they can do a lot, can't they?
Those guys are part of the game. They're doing extra workload that a winger doesn't normally do.
Yeah, they're playmakers. They can step in at 10. Yeah, totally. So I think I don't agree that this was James Lowe. I actually think James Lowe was better last year. Still very good this year, but it's hard to argue with what he's doing. Like, he's still definitely in that conversation.
And then I picked English legend. He
was injured.
He got injured at the end of the year.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. But when he did play...
Say his name so we know who you're talking about.
Emmanuel Fei Waboso.
Well pronounced.
English legend and extraordinaire. Yeah, he was fireworks.
Yeah.
Every time he touched the ball, especially on the tours.
Yeah. Six Nations.
He was when they were playing against New Zealand, he was the only player. Him and Marcus Smith, the only players they were creating danger all the time.
Yeah.
Every time they had the ball, there was danger for the opposition.
I've watched a lot of England games, and they're one of the few teams when they've got the ball in hand. I'm not worried. Like, they'll wear you down eventually and get a try, but any single player on the team, I'm not worried when the ball's in the hand.
Waboso changes that.
Mark Smith and Waboso change. As soon as the ball's in the hand, I'm like, oh, this is spicy now.
Yeah.
They could break the line.
Something's going to happen.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So he goes on my list. And for fullback, Afalele Fassi.
That's a really good call. That's a really good call.
He's going to be, we're going to be talking about him in the future. He's just, because he came out of nowhere.
He did, yeah.
Right? I didn't see him come, people that are South African rugby fans, they will probably saw him for a while.
Yeah.
But he just came on the scene and you're like, who? Really who? Willie who?
Don't you talk about Willie like that.
Don't talk about Willie like that.
When he comes back, you'll be sorry.
Yeah. So Fassi is just
he's class.
Dangerous. I don't like him because he's really good.
That's a good reason to dislike a player, though, isn't it? Yeah, it's a compliment.
Very good reason. When they're playing for a team that you don't cheer for.
That's how I felt about Sexton. I didn't like him because he was that fucking good.
Yeah.
You know?
Because I just don't like the All Blacks in general.
Yeah, a bunch of wankers who are good at rugby. Yeah.
It's not jealousy. It's just pure hate.
Yeah, that's right.
That's the guy he's gonna be the Springbok.
I want to change mine now.
Yeah,
you're right, Fassi. Yeah.
Or I was gonna go with what's his name from Scotland? He's playing in top 14.
Black Kinghorn.
I was gonna go for Kinghorn.
His year with Toulouse, the most handsome man in rugby, becoming broken nose. He's a
good looking.
Have you seen his nose now though?
No, is his nose all fucked up?
Yeah.
Oh, his beautiful face.
I think it was from the Champions Cup final.
Yeah.
Broke his nose.
Who would you put as team of the year?
We're talking international teams.
Just
because if it's club side, it's Glasgow easily.
Yes.
Against the odds.
We'll do club and international.
Yeah. So I'm going Glasgow club team and Toulouse actually. Fucking hell. No, sticking with Glasgow. Sticking with Glasgow. Just because it felt like a harder road with what they had.
Yes, and to go to South Africa.
Win in South Africa.
And win a championship.
Yeah. They were not the favourites to... I wrote them off so much.
Yep.
Right? Maybe unfairly, and it's funny. But they deserved... They were
Club
very
team
good.
Of the year.
Club team of the year. International team of the year. You know what? You've made some edgelordy comments, so I'm going to go with Argentina, because to beat every team in the rugby championship when you're Argentina is fucking impressive.
I was going to pick them.
Yeah.
But except they had that abysmal Northern tour.
They did.
Yeah.
They haven't got a professional team, though.
I was going to pick Australia.
Oh, yeah.
Because they kind of had this. They didn't win much. They didn't win much at all, actually.
And they didn't beat much quality opposition.
But the signs of growth were enough for me to pick them. I still didn't pick them. I had to pick I had to pick for international team of the year. I had to pick South Africa.
I feel like I'm being edgelordy picking Argentina because obviously South Africa are fucking amazing.
It's just like a non like you have to pick.
Yeah.
Like South Africa, they're just like fucking they're just easily the best team. They can't.
Yeah.
They have a problem beating Ireland.
Yeah.
But
they still beat them this year.
They still beat them,
right?
They
like,
still beat them.
It's not like it's a monkey on their back, you know.
But they are easily the best team. They just kind of stomped. They just walked through World Rugby this year.
They did, except
really
for
claiming.
as you said, Ireland, Argentina, the two teams.
The only
they
two
did
teams that beat them this year. Those teams.
Yeah.
So that's what I'd go.
I'm glad you said that, so we both don't sound like lunatics.
Who's your breakout player of the year?
Do you know what? In the end, I did go for Sasha Feinberg and Gomezulu, and I know he was injured for a significant part of the year, but when he played, he was that fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I could see him being the South African 10 for forever.
Mine was Sam Prendergast, breakout player of the year.
Fair enough. I'll give you that. Like, yeah, he's gone from zero to hero like overnight.
Yeah,
you know, fair enough.
You could have picked Satiti.
Yeah, everyone else did.
I thought when he won the breakout player of the year, I thought that was very fitting.
Yeah, it was actually. Yeah.
So I was totally. Jamie Osborne, in my eyes, is going to be another player that's going to be for Leinster there. He's going to be. Every time I watch him play, he's a game changer. Like this guy, he's got X factor.
Yeah.
Satiti could, but I picked Sam Prendergast. Like he just stepped out and kind of stepped up in those member internationals.
I'll give you that.
Really claimed a spot, and he's been I think he's had 2 player of the games in a row now.
Yeah,
since he started. Now that he's being picked for 10.
And look who's ahead of him, right? Like, never mind Frawley, who was kind of ahead of him, but to have Crowley and the Byrne brothers ahead of you, and to all like people like you are going, actually he should start. That's impressive. That's really impressive, isn't it? Like, considering the pool he's in, you know, he's not a big fish in a small pond, you know. So yeah, fair enough.
Who do you got for coach?
Okay,
I
put this isn't an edgelord choice. Okay, I put Ugo Mola, who's the head coach of Toulouse, because he's got every player who under the sun, but they're just like. That final against Leinster, they showed some real. So one thing I'll say about French teams is they can wilt. Like you were talking about them traveling to away games, they can get kind of intimidated by the occasion, and they can kind of like give up a little bit. But Toulouse, like they had that dog in them. They really were a tough team, and I know they've got the best player in the world in most positions, but they were that fucking good. And to beat Leinster, who were basically unbeaten. For a long time was super impressive.
For coach of the year, automatically I was like, well, okay, you got to pick Razzie.
I did that last time we talked about this.
But he, like the situation that makes him like just not as spectacular this year as previous years, he's got everything solidified. His system, his players, like everything. He's just working off of what he's already built.
That's right.
Like the challenges that he has to go through weren't as in like
he's not facing adversity, is he?
He's not facing adversity like to make a coach of the year.
No, and the crazy thing
which is all contributed to him.
That's right. He did that. He gave South Africa that stability, and he deserves the credit he got previously. But right now, he's coasting, and good for him.
Yeah.
Right. Good for him.
Yeah. Like the system, the years of work that he's put into South Africa, they're in a position now. They're coasting.
Yeah.
They know. I bet you anything. Razzie knows who's down the line.
Yeah.
Like 5 players down.
Yeah.
Like he knows who's coming up. Like he's got this all looked up. Like I guess that easily could be a coach of the year because he's like built.
But it's almost like he's not getting it because he's a victim of his own success,
he's
right?
Going to be coach of the if you're going to give him the coach of the year for this, he's going to be coach of the year for like the next fucking 5-10 years.
100%.
As long as he stays with the South Africa, he's going to be that guy. Honorable
mention for Joe Schmidt. He did what I didn't think was possible.
Yes, I was going to pick him too. I was like Joe Schmidt. I was like, oh, that's a good one.
Oh wait, you didn't pick Rassie.
I didn't pick Rassie.
You didn't pick Joe Schmidt.
I didn't pick Joe Schmidt.
Yeah.
I had to pick someone who made me kind of eat my shirt this year. Yeah. Guy that proved me wrong.
Di Flanagan at the Dragons.
Di Flanagan. Kingsley Jones.
Kingsley Jones.
I picked Scott Robertson.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought Scott Robertson was going to do a lot worse than he did.
Okay.
And the rugby championship was kind of proving me right. I was like, oh yeah. And I thought when they went up north, they were going to get fucking annihilated. I was like, when they come out to the Northern Hemisphere, they're like, he's going to get fucking destroyed.
Yeah.
And he's going to be eaten up by the press. And like,
Yeah.
it was just, he came up to the Northern Hemisphere and they could have won every single game.
They just did the business, didn't they?
They did the business.
Yeah.
The selections are on point.
Bearing in mind, though, they lost that first game to France,
Yes.
and he copped some flack.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that game against Ireland was the game that was knife edge situation. I think
They
lose
should
that game, and all of a sudden you're talking about sacking him.
Yep. They did lose to France, but they easily still could have won that game.
They could have.
Like, that game was just on the verge. They could have won it.
That was a hell of a game as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like it was like they came in and got fucking annihilated. Like they were easily almost sometimes I thought they were the better team that whole game. Right? If it wasn't for their shitty discipline, they could have won that game. And like he just came in and they just like fucking just bulldozed the Northern Hemisphere. And in my eyes, I was like, okay, this guy is like, he's like, because there was a lot of pressure on him.
There was pressure on him.
Right? Because there was a lot of expectation of him coming in. Then he got a lot of flack for a lot of decision making he was about the team.
Yeah.
And he came up and he did a job.
Yeah.
They lost to South Africa twice, but South Africa is South Africa right now.
Yeah.
Like, that's understandable. A lot of people would lose 2 games to them in a row. Yeah, but yeah, he proved me wrong. He proved me wrong this year. I made a lot of big calls, like a lot of negative calls about him.
Yeah, me too.
I thought he was going to come into the international scene and kind of get shell-shocked because he's been a super success at Super Rugby for so long. And he picked a bunch of players that a lot of Kiwis thought that like he shouldn't be picking.
Yeah.
And like especially Satiti over Satutu.
Yeah.
Like that was a big that was a big call for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And in the end he was right.
He was. I think the key thing that he did was pick new guys that was a bit risky and they turned out to be very fucking good.
This is 2 years in a row I picked a Kiwi coach for Coach of the Year.
Who'd you pick last time?
I picked fucking Foster.
You picked Ian Foster.
Because he was getting shit on.
For no reason.
He was getting shit on all year for like last.
He only made it to a close World Cup final. Like,
he takes it to the World Cup final.
Yeah.
So I was like, this motherfucker's Coach of the Year. Like,
yeah.
He's like fucking like this guy like went through a ton of shit.
And when he was in charge, the resignations, the retirements that New Zealand had, he had a lot of work to do.
He came into a position like he did. He came into a position where there was a big switch up in talent.
Yeah, and that's ongoing, right?
Yeah, and and then New Zealand went to the fucking World Cup final. They could have won.
Could have won it. 100%.
They could have won. You can easily if they didn't get some certain cards that they got.
Nobody hammers New Zealand, do they?
No.
Nobody hammers them.
No.
Yeah.
They scored a try. They were the first team to score a try against South Africa in a World Cup final.
Yeah.
So but back to Robertson. Like Robertson's, you could see the dominance of the All Blacks coming back.
Sadly.
Yeah, sadly.
Fuck. They're coming. It's
kind of a good thing. It's kind of a bad thing. You want that scary ghost, that spooky ghost of rugby that you have to go against.
Rugby's healthier with the. You remember Pokemon when they had the Gengars and the Ganglis and the.
Pokemon was a little bit after my time.
Oh, okay.
So
Never
I was
mind.
in the age. I was just at the cusp. Like if I played Pokemon, I would have got made fun of.
Oh, okay.
But I wasn't like overly old enough. Like to be like
could have got away with it.
Yeah, but I was just like the people that were playing Pokemon were only a few years younger than I was.
Yeah,
so,
I was like 9. So
I was like
prime age.
Yeah. How old are you right now? Like 35? 30, yeah. So I'm like 4 years older than you.
Yeah.
So I
you'd been the creepy older guy selling us shiny cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, which wouldn't have been a good look. Yeah, fair enough.
Pogs.
I like Pogs. Yeah. Anyway, irrelevant point, but we need a spooky All Blacks.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're not the pantomime villain that England are, but they're the standard setter as well, right? Like these are the guys you got to beat. South Africa kind of now.
The thing is, I don't want another South Africa New Zealand World Cup.
It's up to us, though, isn't it? It's up to everyone else to beat them.
It is.
You can't expect them to be shit.
I'm just kind of like, I just want something different. But also, like New Zealand winning the next World Cup also brings up that that bar to reach.
Yeah, it does. You got to remember, we haven't been doing Rugby World Cups all that long. You know, not that long. So there's plenty of time. There's plenty of years for the tides to shift. We all thought the tide was shifting towards the Northern Hemisphere this year. I thought that, you know, the
They fucking gaslit the shit out of
they
us.
did. They did. Same thing happened again. They came up and were like, "This is the year." France beat New Zealand. We're like, "Okay," but no, nothing else went our
And
way.
then the only Northern Hemisphere team to do something again, fucking England.
Mm,
You know, it's like, fuck, guys. Like, come on. Are you just going to let England carry the Northern Hemisphere all the time?
yeah,
Fuck, guys. I guess we'll go to the final. I guess we'll go to the semifinal. Like,
yeah,
you know?
yeah,
Like, they just like,
yeah,
that really pissed me off. It's because and then, like, what was funny, though, so, like, England should have, like, they should have won that game against the Springboks, and
yeah.
they fucked that up. But,
Yeah.
that was that's my things of the years. Do you have any things of the years?
What have I got? Now I got team player.
Player of the year,
Yeah,
Ox and Che. Let's give it to them now.
yeah. Go on then.
Bulldozer.
Go on then, because I put him on my team of the year. But yeah, and I argued all that like he should have got. Yeah, fair enough. Ox and Che.
Ox and Che, let's give him credit where credit's due.
Yeah.
If I had to pick a bunch, Ox and Che, RG Snyman, he in my eyes could have been player of the year. Sione Tuapalatu, easily player of the year.
Yeah.
Tom Gordon from Newcastle Falcons,
Teddy
player
Williams
of the year.
of the Cardiff
Ted
Rugbies.
Williams. I shocked you so hard with
You
that.
did.
Ted
I was
Williams.
just like, fucking like hustling through my notes, like, what the fuck is he talking about? He's gone off script here.
Yeah.
Okay. Last question then. Best game of the year. You know, you might not remember, and it might not be like a fair. You know, obviously what you watched is different to other people.
My favorite game of the year probably was when Ireland beat the Springboks.
Oh,
And
okay.
that drop kick goal.
That
from
was a hell
Bradley
of a
at the end.
finish. That was a hell of a finish.
That was my favorite game.
Fair enough.
Yeah, of the year.
I'm going to go Leinster, La Rochelle, not La Rochelle, Toulouse Champions Cup final.
Oh yeah, that was a
Games
good one.
don't go into injury time very
No.
often, and high stakes games especially don't go into injury time very often.
No.
Fucking hell, that was just like by the end it was like 120 minutes. Guys are just bleeding, sweating, like giving everything. You know.
This
Fucking
year
hell.
we get to see that in person.
We do.
I really hope we get something like that.
That's the best thing about. Even though the Champions Cup, the quality has been diluted, at the business end of it, it's still the best fucking teams around.
Yeah.
You know.
So I'm pretty excited because you and I get to go to the Champions Cup final this year.
We do.
We get to go to the Challenge Cup final
We
too.
do, which is always a good game, by the way. Always, and there's a good chance Cardiff are going to win. Not really.
Yeah, we might get to see a Welsh team play.
Cardiff won it not long ago. Gloucester always gets the final as well, by the way. So prepare yourself for a match against Gloucester.
My budget for how much stuff I'm going to spend on rugby stuff when I get over there
Yeah.
is like keeps growing.
I'm going to treat you. I'm going to take you to the finest jersey shops in town.
And I just keep putting it up. I'm like, I'll spend
Yeah.
this much. Maybe I'll spend this much.
Yeah.
I'll spend. Oh my god, I'm going to spend so much.
Cardiff has, I think, 3 jersey stores, and one of them is just random jerseys.
Ooh.
It's amazing.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's just random bullshit from a million years ago.
I went to a pretty good store in Paris that
Yeah.
was like outside the Moulin Rouge.
Oh, yeah.
It was like down the street from the Moulin Rouge.
Yeah.
That was pretty good. It was like 2 stories.
Yeah.
They had a lot of stuff, and I was like, oh god, I was like looking
Yeah.
around. I was like, wait, I want this, I want that.
Yeah.
I was like kind of a little kid in the candy shop there.
Yeah, we're literally like Willy Wonka. We come from poor families in Canada, don't we? There's no candy stores around here.
No.
None.
So yeah, when I get there, I'm gonna
Yeah.
blow my load. I'm just like, oh my god, I need this.
Don't
this,
put
this.
anything in your suitcase. It's going home.
I'm not. I'm just gonna be wearing rugby jerseys. I gotta be like, fuck, I can't bring anything because I gotta have to have room for all this shit I'm gonna bring.
Don't bring anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Well, I think Frank, we talked about everything we were gonna talk about.
Yes.
I think next week the Champions Cup is back.
Yeah, good. I've been a bit lax in my duties. I haven't watched a lot of rugby because I've been Christmas cheese eating. So
Yeah.
now it's time to get back on the new year, new me with rugby. Back in the gym.
This year is gonna be a big podcasting year.
Yeah.
So we're gonna make some big changes coming up soon here.
Big things coming.
Yeah, we're gonna go all in.
Watch this space.
All right. You have a good one, folks.
Yes.
Thank you for listening. Oh yeah, find us on all social medias. Okay, bye guys. Bye.
Happy New-